So good morning guys, you're probably here to watch me use Vim, and if you're here for that reason then you're probably right. So right now we will be showing ourselves how to code Vim in such a way that we could use faster. So there are two types of Vim. The first Vim that I would be using is the Vim and the VS Code. So Vim and VS Code. And the second Vim is the Vim in the in the in the editor. I mean in the virtual editor. The Vim in VI. So this is the typical Vim. Well, this is the Vim that I set up in my VS Code. So I will first go to the VS Code to prefer the things that I am needing. So right here I have set up a Vim hotkeys over here. I have my own key bindings. I use the caps lock and replace it with a escape key so that whenever I press the caps lock, key, the the keyboard that is actually get pressed was so yeah, it was already working. The keyboard that will be printing is the escape key instead of the caps lock. So let's start with coding with Vim. But first we need to watch for some tutorial. I mean for some code that we should be following. So let's instead follow this one, but not at the rest, but it's just around here. So let's follow this code here. Let's try to repeat what's in the top. So in the code we will be starting to time ourselves. So at the first trial I will be using a Vim in VS Code, and later we'll be using a Vim in the text editor. So yeah, I will start with here. I will start by noticing you guys of what kind of texting. No, I will notice you guys of what part we are already Vim in VS Code. So yeah, this is it. Do we have the size for this one? Oh, where can I see the size? It's too big. Oh yeah. Save, and I could just small it down. So here, Vim in VS Code and Vim. So that is for the comparison. So I just want to show you guys about my last video about how long I take this
What's up, community? This is your recruiter.
about how long I take this channel. I mean how long I write Vim, how long I write this code. Wait, because I have a video in Vim, using Vim a while ago. So no, not this one. Probably not this one, I'm sure. So this is my old video about faster. My old video of copying this video. It's around 7 minutes for using normal keyboard, and while using Vim, it took me around, I guess, 13 minutes, I think. So yeah, it took me around 13 minutes and 40 seconds for this size of text, and I do think that is not enough, and I am not so master with it that time. But this time I will be trying to show you how I improve using Vim, and I will be starting. So of course we're using Vim with some snippets on it. So it basically means that whenever I write something, it will basically write things up in the code. So if I write include, and yeah, that's happening. So I am now starting. So I will start and sign myself already. So I will start. So I need a time watch. stopwatch, I guess. So I will be starting. I won't really try so hard to be fast, only but also using some logics. I really forgot some of its key because I just recently back in using VIM, and I hope oh, I get mistake there. How do I use this? Oh she. So we've got a pretty big mess around there. And we are back at our choice. I mean at our I'll just be focusing. Oh shit, what the fuck is this? So do you want to initialize the set question mark, then one if yes, and oh my god, what's happening to this? One if yes and zero for no. Zero for no. So as you can see guys, it was really pretty easy to use VIM as long as you are familiar with it. But if you're not familiar, I am not pressuring you to use VIM, since IDE was pretty useful and you could basically achieve anything that you want in any IDE out there. So that's just a common misconception that whenever you are using VIM, you will be initialize initialize um, you will be better at programming just because you are faster in coding. That's a very wrong concept over there, and I hope we can improve ourselves about that. So about this one, so one for yes. Oh, we get a mistake over here. Let's back it up. Yes. And zero for no. So need the space and the space again. So after that, this is our last scan, and I hope that everything works fine as what we are expecting. So that's it. I have just used 3 minutes and 20 seconds. I hope that is useful for for the way that we are doing the test. So yeah, I will try to write over here 3 minutes. So here 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So this is for our first attempt. Oh shit, why does everything has changed? So for the first attempt, I will just put it right here at the corner. I mean at the left corner for the first attempt, and for the second attempt, I will write it here. Here, I will not show it to have to to have a proof that we are currently in that test. Oh, so you are not hearing me since then. Let's fuck. What's the fuck is this? It only take me quite a few seconds. So you didn't hear me since then. It was pretty disappointing, the fact that I did use some of my energy out there and just to make you guys happy with it. I'm not really happy with how the things go up. So I need to close the Chrome version and go back to the Messenger, since it was where I started. I hope that we have a holy break. I'm not really happy. Question mark, then one if yes, and oh my god, change. So for the first attempt, I will just put it right here at the corner. I mean, at that. I could only say that it's always better to practice by making things that you love and things that are helpful to you. Yes, I could say that's one of the most stupid advice that I could give to you, to basically practice with it. And since you don't have any experience, you can practice, because where will you put things up when you don't have experience? You're here and you don't have experience. So what I could say to you, if you don't have any experience yet, is to discover HTML and CSS. It's the most basic part of a software engineer, and probably the most useful, where you could start to put things up in the things that you really want it to be, because CSS and HTML is like the structure, and in order to build logic with it, you need to first know how to build the structures. So by that, I hope that you could have your own reason of I will never sell for less. Computer sciences premium. See. So it matches my preferences. Oh, that's 200. So when you're thinking of 200, you should divide it with, let's see, calculate 195 divided 12, so it's almost 16. Times 1000, times 1000, times 52. Oh, I couldn't believe this. How, how could they, how could they such, when I am earning this much, I don't really think that I need to work. 6 years of experience full time, Central in Latin America. So before I could read it, everything. So before I could read everything, before I'd answer the questions. Yeah, I really have a question in mind that I've been I've been wondering for quite a while already, and it's all about the employee numbers. I mean, whenever I apply, there's some kind of a maximum employee. Just like when I was applying for this position, I found out that they are looking for around 500 to 1,000 employee. That means that 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 means that the company is looking for 500 employees, or they just set it as a reference of the maximum number they could possibly handle. I mean, this is really out of. I mean, is it fine if I could ask a question that is out of the work? It is not completely personal, but I do found it helpful. Figma. Oh, so you're using Figma. Build a responsive recipe.
This course will help you improve your skills with HTML and CSS. Popular instructors find here the general setup, where essentially we've got, I prefer using is this one, the preview on a web server. And of course, you just need to install it. And then if you want to see it in a browser, back to 100%. Now, of course, you'll see that everything is smaller. So don't be surprised if at some point your application looks a little bit different than mine. So let's set up the path. I'm going to go with /, looking for assets, and but we'll wrap it in a div with two classes, with the navlink class as well as the contact link class. And change it around and set it equal to blue. And what you'll notice once you go to the big screen, so this is going to be that nav center. It's never going to be bigger than that 1120. And this is the remaining of the navbar. Again, this course will help you improve your skills with HTML and CSS. Popular instructor John Smilga will teach you how to create a multi-page recipe website using just HTML and CSS. Hey, what's up? It's John from Coding Addict, and welcome to another HTML and CSS project. And in today's video, we'll build a multi-page food recipe site.
Have a great day.
If you want to see the entire project in action, just navigate to the URL HTML CSS simply recipes.netlify that app. Again, the URL is HTML CSS simply recipes.netlify that app. And effectively, we've got a recipe site with a bunch of pages. So we've got a home page, an about page, the tags page, and then once we click on a tag, we navigate to a tag template page. We also have got recipes page as well as the contact page. And also, if we click on a single recipe, we'll have a single recipe page. Before we start setting up the project, let me just mention that since it's a HTML and CSS project, there's going to be very minimal functionality and some copy and pasting. Since in plain HTML, there are no templates or components. So for example, if you want to display navbar in all pages, yes, you will have to copy and paste since there's no way around it. In order to follow along with the project, you'll need a star, and probably the fastest way to get it is by navigating to johnsmilga.com. Again, the URL is johnsmilga.com. And then look for the projects page and then filter by YouTube. So check for YouTube projects. And in here, if you click on this button, of course, you'll navigate to the project, the one that I just showed you, but you're looking for the star. So just click on the star or the source code. Both of them will lead to the same repo. And once you get here, just look for download zip option. And once you and put your code, and we'll go. We've got a final one, the entire source will be doing assets up, where essentially we've got some link JavaScript file. And if you take a look at the index.html, you'll find here the general setup, where essentially we've got some link tags. So one is going to be for favicon, then the next one will be for normalized CSS. We also have one for font awesome icons, and one for main CSS. And if you take a look at the main CSS, you'll find some global styles that I use in all of my projects. If you're confused about some of this stuff, for example, why I use normalize and what is the benefit of global styles, please watch my default star video where I cover all of that in great detail. And you can find the video link in the description. Lastly, while working on HTML, opens up the local web server. And as a result, once I save the file, I can see the changes instantly. So let me show you. So these are my extensions. And the one that I prefer using is this one, the preview on.